There are some phone calls and moments that divide your life into before and after. Losing my mom was one of them. Hi everyone. Today I am sharing one of the hardest stories I've ever had to tell. I recently lost my mom and honestly, life hasn't been the same since. April 20th, 2026. That's a day that I can never forget in a hurry. 19th April was her birthday. It was on Sunday. Then 18th April, I called her. I had something that I wanted to talk to her about. I called her and she was in the market. And then I'm like, okay, I could hear from the background that someone was talking to her. So I was like, okay, I'll call you back later. Usually, whenever I said I'll call her back, I'll be eagerly waiting for the time to call her back. But somehow that day, I completely forgot. I didn't call her back. And then on Sunday, being 19th, I was doing something. What I was doing was not even going to take more than 10 minutes max. And then I'm like, okay, I'll call her since it's her birthday. I'll call her as soon as I'm done. And then it wasn't even up to 5 minutes. I got a phone call from one of my siblings asking if I heard that our mom was sick. I was like, sick as how? I spoke with her yesterday and she was in the market. From the tone of her voice, I could hear that it was a serious matter, and I'm like, how? She said she had headache. From headache, she became unconscious, and then she had been hospitalized. And then I said, okay, immediately I picked up my phone, I tried to reach her. There was no answer. I called my dad, and he said that they were with her. He said it was high blood pressure, and I'm like, that was the first time ever. She never had it. She had never had it. We were there. I kept calling, checking up and all. And then later on, they said she was responding to treatment, that the blood pressure had normalized, but she was still unconscious. And then on Monday, being 20th, we kept calling and praying. We didn't stop praying. We were still calling from time to time. I don't think maybe 1 hour interval. I don't know, I can't remember. We were praying and still checking up. And then it's about 3:30 something, I think. I decided to call again. And then my sister, one of my sisters that was with her, she picked up and said that she was gone. And I'm like, gone as how? Then someone collected the phone from her. Called again, there was no answer. I called her husband. He was insisting that he didn't know, that he was not there. It was raining heavily and he wasn't with her. I called another person. Like, I was in denial. I just kept calling. Other people were called. Another person called me, and she noticed that I didn't get the full gist. She told me she didn't know anything, and that was it. And then by the time I got the full information, they told me that she was truly gone. I don't know. I didn't know how I was feeling. I was just saying, no, how would she be gone? Why would she be gone? Like, no, it was not possible because we had plans. Why would she just leave like that? My hands were shaking. I didn't know how I was feeling, but I remember that my hands were shaking. I'll sit on the floor, stand up, lie down, I'll be up. It was a mix of emotions. I I have no idea. My neighbors heard my voice. I didn't even know I was that loud. They heard my voice, they came in, phone calls here and there. God. I've realized that grief does not come with instructions. Some days I am fine, some other days I find it difficult to process what had happened. If you have lost someone, please know that there's no right way to grieve. There's no script, there's no instructions, there's no process. Whatever you're feeling today is valid. If you are comfortable, please share with us one thing you have missed from someone you lost. Let's create a safe place for one another.